We are going to use a Venn diagram to help organize information found from a survey. The information within the survey identifies three specific music channels that subscribers use on a regular basis. We have rap, which will be represented by the letter R, heavy metal, which is represented by H, and alternative rock, which is represented by A. And we see the intersections between all three of those music channels. So we'll start with the first line. 8 listened to rap, heavy metal, and alternative rock. So where all three music channels intersect, we will put the number 8. The next line, we have 13 listened to rap and heavy metal. So for 13, we have the intersection between rap and heavy metal, which is here. We already know that 8 initially that are listed listened to rap and heavy metal. So we'll need to subtract the 8 that's already listed from 13, which leaves us with 5 left over that listen to rap and heavy metal. The next line, 15 listen to heavy metal and alternative. So for heavy metal and alternative, we have the intersection of those two, but we already know that 8 out of that number listen to heavy metal and alternative, so we'll have to subtract 8 from 15, and that leaves us with 7. The next line, we're told that 14 listen to rap and alternative rock. So the intersection between rap and alternative rock is here. And 14 listen to rap and alternative rock. So we'll still have to subtract out the 8 that's already listed. And that leaves us with 6. So next, we have a total of 21 that listen to rap. So collectively, within the group of listeners that listen to rap, there are 21. We already have 5 plus 8 plus 6, which equals to 19 listeners. So after subtracting the 19 that are already listed, that leaves us with 2 left over. We have 31 listened to heavy metal, but out of the listeners for heavy metal, we already see that we have 5 plus 8 plus 7, which equals to 20. So we'll have to subtract 20 from 31, and that leaves us with the 11 that's left over. And we have 35 listen to alternative rock. So for all the listeners within alternative rock, we already see that we have 6 plus 8 plus 7, which is 21. So we'll have to subtract 21 from 35, and that leaves us with 14 listeners. And then lastly, we have 12 listen to none of these channels. So the 12 that listen to none of those channels will be the 12 listed in the universal set on the outside of all three of those music channels. So now that our Venn diagram is complete, we can answer additional question items. So how many people were surveyed? In order to determine how many people are surveyed, we simply add all of the numbers within the Venn diagram, including the 12 that are in the universal set. So we'll add 2 plus 5 plus 11 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 14 plus 12. And that gives us a total of 65 total people that were surveyed. Next, we want to determine how many people listen to either rap or alternative rock. So we'll look in both the rap and alternative rock sets and add all of those listeners. So we'll add 2 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 14 plus 7. And that equals to 42 listeners total that listen to either rap or alternative rock. And then lastly, we're asked how many listen to heavy metal only. And of course, that's easy to identify because we simply look at our Venn diagram and we're looking for all of the listeners that listen to heavy metal that did not intersect with rap or alternative rock. And the answer is 11.